Hello, today we're going to be talking about the Rust Doctor. The Rust Doctor is a latex water-based product that you apply to rusty metal. It chemically changes that rust to a non-rusting black iron oxide that will never rust again. So, by applying Rust Doctor, you've done away with any rust issues for the future. Let's take a look at the 3 steps involved in the Rust Doctor process. Here we have the 3 steps involved in treating this metal and bringing it back to a new condition. You can see here that we have a rusty surface. We've cleaned it to knock off loose rust and loose paint. So we'll apply the Rust Doctor to that. It will then chemically convert this red iron oxide we call rust to this non-rusting black iron oxide called magnetite. Magnetite is a very hard surface, so it will protect the base metal underneath from rusting, and you'll never have to deal with rust again. You can then paint it with any color, any kind of paint. You can see here when moving this display around, we've chipped some of the paint off, but instead of exposing bare metal which could start rusting, it only exposed the very hard black iron oxide. That black iron oxide won't rust, so you don't have to deal with rust. You can take and clean that up, touch it up, repaint it, and you have a brand new surface again, and you didn't have to deal with rust. Okay, let's now look at how easy it is to apply the Rust Doctor. The first thing you want to do is mix up the paint in the bottle. You always want to put Rust Doctor in a separate container and paint from that container, and then you can also put a cover on that container and use it again. Okay, now you want to apply enough Rust Doctor so there's no rust showing through the surface. And so as you apply it, you can just judge for yourself. You can always go back and put another coat on just to put it a little heavier. However, if the rust is very, very thick and you want to put a second coat on, you want to be sure and wait on the second coat you don't want to put it on until the first coat has become tacky, and then you can apply the second coat. And that's a basic process. Enough Rust Doctor that there's no rust showing through the surface, and you're good to go. Okay, here we are with our finished panel. You can see that the surface has turned a nice black color. That means that the rust is gone. It's been turned to the black magnetite. It will never rust again. And in addition to that, the process has left a clear latex primer on the surface. That primer then allows us to accept any color, any kind of paint. You can also use fiberglass and body filler on that surface, and you can weld on that surface. So the Rust Doctor has permanently removed the rust, and you don't have to deal with rust again. Okay, so we've gone from a panel that was completely rusted. In order to repair that panel, you would have to spend many hours removing the rust, but with Rust Doctor, you were able to change that to a panel like this. The rust is completely gone. It's ready to be painted, all in one step. Finally, that same panel can look like this with a coat of paint. We went from rusty metal to this with Rust Doctor. Rust Doctor can be used on any rusty metal, from large industrial applications to antique vehicle restoration to a child's rusty wagon.